The objective for today is I can add 3-digit numbers with regrouping 2 different ways. So just to review, we have 4 different strategies for how we can solve these addition problems. The first one was drawing out our base 10 blocks. So remember, when we're doing our regrouping, we have to circle those, for example, 10 tens and show that they become 100. Same thing if we have more than 10 ones, we have to circle those 10 ones and regroup and show that it becomes a 10. So that's one strategy. Another strategy that we have is branching, very similar to the base 10 blocks, but now instead of drawing the base 10 blocks, we just write those numbers based in expanded form or the value. So the 164, the 100, the 60, and the 4, and so on. And same thing with regrouping. We have to show that we take this 110 and we regroup it into the tens, or we take this 100 and we regroup it into the hundreds. Our next strategy is from right to left. So remember, we start in our ones, we add up our ones. Then we go to our tens, we add up our tens and we stack that underneath the ones. And then we add our hundreds and we stack that underneath. And then we combine all those together to get our sum. The last way that we learned was with the algorithm. This is kind of like the shortcut. So remember, when we do the algorithm, you put your ones down below and then you regroup your tens into the tens column. So it's so important that I see all of this regrouping when we're doing it this way, because that's how I know that you really understand these problems and how to solve them. So now I'm going to do some examples of showing you how to solve these problems using 2 different strategies, and I'll kind of mix it up so you can see a bunch of the different strategies that you could do. All right, so we are going to solve this problem 2 different ways. So we're going to solve 84 plus 76, and we're going to solve it using the base 10 blocks and then also right to left. So let's go ahead and start on our base 10 blocks. Let's set up our HTO chart. All right, so remember, we're going to build our first addend, 84. Do I have any hundreds in it? No. Do I have any tens? I do. So I have 8 tens. And I have 4 ones. Now we're going to build my second addend, 76. So I have 7 tens. And 6 ones. Okay, so now I need to combine my ones. So let's count together. Let's see how many ones we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I have 10 ones? I can't. So I'm going to circle these 10 ones and they become a 10. And what I like to do is I like to make my new 10 kind of big so that it stands out so I don't forget about it. So now I come back over here. How many ones do I have left? Well, I didn't have any left because I used all 10 of them. So I'm going to put my 0 down here. Now let's count how many total tens I have. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Can I have 16 tens? I can't. So I'm going to count out 10 of them, and I'm going to regroup those 10 tens into the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's circle all of those. Those 10 tens become a 100. So let's look back over here. How many tens do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. And then how many hundreds do I have? Just 100. So my answer using base 10 blocks is 160. Now let's see if I get the same answer when I'm doing right to left. So I'm going to set up my problem for right to left, going vertically up and down. Okay, so again, I need to start in my ones. I'm going to add 4 plus 6. What is 4 plus 6? 10. So now I did my ones and now I'm going to do my tens. I have 8 plus 7, but it's really 80 plus 70. So when I think to myself, 8 plus 7, I know it's 15, but it's 15 tens, so I know that's 150. So I'm going to line that up underneath my ones. 150. So now I need to combine these two together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 5 is 6. 0 plus 1 is 1. So now I need to check, did I get the same answer both ways I solved it? This one, my sum was 160. This one, my sum was 160. So I know that I got these two problems correct and that 84 plus 76 equals 160. So now we're going to solve the problem 247 plus 189, and we're going to use branching and then the algorithm. So let's start with branching. Again, we're going to have to start by drawing our HTO chart. So now we're going to start by building 247, but instead of building it using the base 10 blocks, we're instead just going to write the value of each digit, kind of like an expanded form, in our HTO chart. So 247, my first digit is the 2, it's in the 100, so I know it's worth 200. Next, I have my 4 in the 10, so I know that is worth 40. And then I have my 7 in the ones, which is worth 7. Now we're going to put my second add-in in, 189. I'm going to put that below my dotted line. So my 1 is in the hundreds. I know that's worth 100. My 8 is in the tens, so I know that's worth 80. My 9 is in the ones, so I know that is worth 9. Now, same thing, I'm going to start in my ones. I have 7 plus 9. 7 plus 9 equals 16. But can I have 16 ones? I can't, so I need to show my regrouping. So I'm going to take this 110 and I'm going to move it into my tens column. So now I'm just left with my 6 ones in my ones column. So now let's add together my tens. I have 80 plus 40 plus 10. So I'm going to start by combining my 80 and my 10. 80 plus 10 is 90. And now I need to count up 4 more 10s. So 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. That was 4 10s. So my 10s, I have 130. But can I have 100 in my 10s place? I can't. So I'm going to take my 110 or my 100 and move it into my hundreds place. So plus 100. So now for this, I have 100 plus 200 plus 100. So 200 plus 100 is just 300. Another 100 is 400. So now I think about this as expanded form. I have 400 plus 30 plus 6. So my answer is 436. Now let's test it out over here in the algorithm. I'm going to line up my numbers vertically. 247 plus 189. Make sure everything's nice and lined up. That'll keep you nice and organized. So now let's start in our ones. 9 plus 7. We already said that was 16, so we know that. But when I'm doing the algorithm, I put my ones down here, and then where do I regroup my tens? That's right, I have to put it right on top of my tens. So now I have 1 plus 4 plus 8. So I say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So again, I'm going to keep my 3 and my tens, but I'm going to regroup my 100 into the hundreds. So now I have 1 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 4. So let's check. Did I get the same answers? I got 436 when I did branching. I got 436 when I did algorithm. So they are the same. And the most important part when you're doing this work with regrouping is I have to see those tens and those hundreds being moved over. So make sure when you're doing this that I see that where your work is so that I can see that you knew that you had to regroup. Awesome job. Now that you've watched me practice some problems, it is your turn to practice your own. So you have these two different problems, 382 plus 132 and 85 plus 638. So for each problem, you need to solve it two different ways. And you can decide if you want to solve them the same way both times, you can. So for example, I could do base 10 blocks in algorithm and base 10 in algorithm again, but I at least need to see two different strategies for each problem and make sure that I see your regrouping.